Hey there, it's Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. Today's video is a 7 on Sunday video. 7 on Sunday is a Goodreads group created by G from G Swizzle, and I will leave a link to it down in the description below. The idea of 7 on Sunday is to provide you with a prompt, and then you talk about 7 books that relate to that prompt. And today's prompt is TikTok made me buy it. And wow, this one hit a little bit close to home because TikTok has influenced quite a lot of my buying in the past year or so. Basically, since I downloaded it, it was like, oh, do you want to be targeted by bookish adverts and like bookish quotes that will make you buy the book? Yes? Well, good, because that is most of my For You page, so that's great. So actually, TikTok has very much influenced me. I think it's quite interesting because TikTok has specifically influenced me into Kindle Unlimited reading. And I will admit that that is more smut-based because romance authors are really good at promoting their books on TikTok. I don't know what it is, but like, just give me like a little snippet to get me interested and I will download that. I will. And I have. So yeah, today's video I'm going to slightly tailor towards things that I have purchased on Kindle Unlimited, so it's kind of more like renting than actual buying, but the author still gets paid per page, I believe. I think it's a good balance because a lot of the recommendations I get from BookTube are more mainstream media and more like physical books, like the bigger releases, and I quite like that BookTok is kind of more indie based. At least the BookTok that I'm on, I get a lot of like indie recs, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to talk to you guys today about Kindle Unlimited books that I have bought because of BookTok specifically. Before I start, I also do need to say that I haven't read quite a lot of these. I'm actually planning to read a lot of them this month, so just unfortunate that I haven't actually gotten to a lot of them yet, but I've definitely bought them and they're just sort of waiting on my endless TBR. So yeah, let's get to this. The first book I want to talk about is Killer Candy by Holly Bloom. So I actually started reading this one last night and I'm only like 74 pages into this book. And it's about a stripper who used to be kind of a hitman, I guess. The book basically opens with her biting a guy's dick off, so that's lovely. But it is actually a reverse harem sort of dark romance book, so I don't know, the main character is sassy and she can take care of herself. There's a lot of bitchy ladies that work in the strip club that she goes to work in, and that's like all I've got of the story so far, but I am intrigued enough to sort of see where this romance will go. My cat has returned! Hello! Hello, young man! What has happened to your ear? Oh no, what has happened to your ear, young man? What has happened? What is that? Oh, he's been pooed on. He's been pooed on by a bird. Oh, we have to go get you cleaned up. Sorry if anything's changed here. I did not think that today was going to involve me cleaning bird poo off of my cat's ear. So now you know that that happened. Woo. So I totally lost track of what I was talking about then, about Killer Candy. But I'm kind of looking forward to the reverse harem aspect sort of developing, and we will see how it goes. The next book I want to talk about is one that I have read, and that is Hot Vampire Next Door by Nikki St. Crow. And this one is, well, it's about the hot vampire that lives next door. I know I say this every time I talk about this book, but essentially that is the plot. So it's set in a world where all of these different creatures exist, so there's like vampires, shifters, fae, and humans and witches, and they all coexist in this one town. And the main character grows up knowing that she's probably going to become sort of like a blood bank for one of the vampire families, and then some stuff happens and she sort of becomes involved trying to unravel a mystery with the vampire next door who is not from the vampire clan that she's sort of supposed to be involved with. So I really like the first book. It's only like 140 pages and it's a Kindle Vella series, so it's kind of comes out episodically, and I thought it was a really interesting format, but I'd like to wait until there's at least like a solid book that I can mark on Goodreads. I would recommend it if you like sort of urban fantasy fun with sexy times. I don't know, it's good. I'm looking forward to the next one. Next up we have Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. I feel like I could not leave this book off my list because in 2021 I read so much of this series because of TikTok, and I feel like a lot of people read this book because of TikTok, and you know, it wasn't great. There were some of them in the series that were a lot better than the others, and then towards the end it just became all about making babies, and I was like, I am not here for the actual having the babies and being like, you know, motherly. I just wasn't here for it. It wasn't for me. So I ended up like DNFing the series. But let's be real, I was about 17 books into that series. It's really long, and yeah, I did enjoy it. If you don't know what Planet Barbarians is about, a group of women get kidnapped by some random aliens while they are sleeping in the middle of the night, and then they crash land on a planet that is very icy. And then some barbarian aliens come along and are like, ladies. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Anyway, I felt like I couldn't leave that off this list because that definitely influenced the whole string of books that I got from Kindle Unlimited. The next book that BookShock definitely influenced me to buy was These Hollow Vows by Lexi Bryan. I really don't even know what this book is about. I just kind of heard it was like a bit ACOTAR-like, but maybe not as good. I don't know, it's about fate and it's sort of love triangle-y. I really don't know. I honestly don't remember why I picked this book up. I feel like I just heard really positive things about it and I was intrigued. So I have been influenced to buy it, but not read it. If you guys know anything about These Hollow Vows, or if you've read it, can you like drop me a comment to be like, this is why you should read it? Because I probably should. Otherwise, why have I got it? Along the same lines, I've also been influenced to pick up From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've not actually read anything by Jennifer L. Armentrout before, I don't think. But I am intrigued. I mean, everyone's like, oh, it's really sexy times and it's really great, and I don't actually hear much about the plot, so I don't really know what it's about because I don't go and like sort of look it up beforehand because I'm a bit trash at reading synopsises and stuff. I don't like them to be misleading, so I try not to read them. I just go off like random like snippets of information that people can give me. So again, if you've got any sort of like lead in to From Blood and Ash that you want to drop me, then that would be great because I want to feel a bit more hyped before I actually go into this one. From everything I have heard, I feel like I'll like it. So for the last two on this list, I wanted to go into the more ridiculous of things that TikTok has influenced me to purchase on Kindle Unlimited. The foray into monster romance that is just wow. I'm not quite sure why I went there, but I did. So I'm going to talk about those books. So yes, the first one on this list is Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nacosta. So this book is about a woman who decides to go and work at a Minotaur milking farm. She basically extracts milk from Minotaurs as her day job. It's like for pharmaceutical purposes and stuff, so you know, it's all used for good, but also, yeah. So she ends up getting involved with one of her customers. That's all I'm going to say about it. It was actually surprisingly good. The premise makes it sound really weird, but the actual book and the actual sort of setting where these like fantasy creatures all exist within the human world, and it was alright. I quite liked it. I wouldn't not recommend it. It was definitely really weird though, but also I kind of liked it. I don't know. Now the last book on this list is Fertile in My Ex-Boyfriend's Dungeon, which I have to say I did not enjoy at all. I picked this one up when I was not feeling very well and I was like, I just want to laugh. And laugh I did. It was a choose-your-own-adventure story and the main character gets together with this random guy and she's like, he's going to take me out of this town that I don't like. And then he's like, oh, love, no. And she's like, no, please. And he's like, oh, okay. So he puts her in this dungeon and he's like, you have to escape the dungeon without getting impregnated by all of these creatures that want to impregnate you. And she's like, what the fuck? There's like a bunch of choices and you have to like pick the thing that she will do, and then like, oh, I don't know, it was really weird. Like, it was not for me. I can't recommend this one. It was very strange. That like, I think each book has like 3 different romance options. It's kind of not romantic though, because obviously she's trying not to be impregnated and the creatures are very much trying to impregnate her. Like there's like a thing where like magical consent happens and like if they have sex then she believes that she's totally in love with the creatures, and it's really weird and it's really off and the vibes were not there. So yeah, the first book I think it was like these like 2 little goblin people and like a big orc and then Beetlekin, which is essentially like a giant beetle. Like I don't like a giant beetle sexy? Because I didn't think so. This was a very strange one and a very strange note to end this video on. Yeah, so have you read any very strange things on Kindle Unlimited that were specifically influenced by BookTok? Because I have, so now you all know about them in detail. And yeah, if you made it this far into the video, please leave me some sort of, well, if there's a beetle emoji, try and leave that. If not, a small insectile type creature would be great. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!